Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and my voice is starting to come back. Anyway, I've got a video for you from Judge Dries in Kansas, and I won't say anything. I'll just let you guys watch it.
Your Honor, the court made an announcement. The parties, like I said, the testimony we'd want to present is by the petitioner Rachel Ellison, and her objections to the journal entry that was submitted, and our objections pursuant to Rule 1 to the 170 journal entry. So we're ready to proceed whenever you are.
All right. Ms. Ellison, you're going to have to unmute. And you need to raise your right hand. You solemnly swear and or affirm that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the penalties for perjury in the state of Kansas.
Yes.
Are you currently in the state of Kansas?
Yes.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Go ahead, Mr. Driscoll.
Rachel, can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay. You recall that we had a hearing in September, and there was a journal entry prepared in connection with that hearing that was sent to us via Rule 170. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And you had requested that you had some objections to that journal entry, did you not?
Yes.
And you requested I file an objection to the to the order that was submitted pursuant to Rule 170, correct?
Yes.
And I'll need to have you indicate to the court the objections you have to that particular order. In that objection, we stated that respondent's proposed journal entry does not accurately reflect the respondent's income, MFA eligibility, and eligibility of parenting time adjustment. You recall receiving that objection that we filed on your behalf?
Yes.
I need to have you indicate to the court the purposes of this objection and why you feel that the journal entry does not accurately reflect that hearing that was held in September.
Well, first of all, the MFA eligibility, it was under my impression that he has 50-50 custody with his first wife. And so he only has the other children 50% of the time. He also, I don't remember the name for it, the parenting time adjustment, according to the state guidelines, says it needs to be at least 35%. And even with the holidays he pushed for, he has Anna less than 35% of the time. And let's see, the income, it's been the same thing year after year. We always get partial information on income. Like, here's his tax return showing that he has 3 different jobs, but let's only give pay stubs on some of these jobs. And like, I don't know how many times he's switching jobs or if he's currently employed by all 3, but it's always seems like it's just partial information. I also believe he might own a rental house because he lives at one address, he says, and he has another address in his name. When I pick up my daughter, his vehicles are all registered at the Rush County address, but I pick her up from the Ellis County address, and that the Rush County address is occupied. So I assume he's got rental income, because if he only works part-time, I don't know how he would obtain a mortgage without it being rented out. It seems like something's missing.
And does that summarize your objections to the journal entry?
I believe so.
Yeah. You received your W-2 and sent it to me. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yeah.
For 2024.
Yeah.
And I've sent that to Mr. Schwartz's office, so he should have that. Greg says that he sent or is in the process going to send Mr. Hyatt's 2024 information. When we get that'd be forwarded on to you also. Do you have any other objections you want the court to be made aware of pursuant to this objection to the journal entry?
Not that I can think of at this time.
Okay. That's, Mr. Schwartz, do you want to inquire, or that's all the
That's the end of your questions, Mr. Driscoll.
I don't have any other questions.
Mr. Schwartz, do you have cross?
Well, I guess, I mean, my understanding, Judge, on how these should work is it's a legal argument as to whether or not this is what you ordered. And if it is, we're done. If it's not, then the court probably needs to clarify what it did order. And I mean, I think the issue about his income is just arguing again what was argued at the hearing in September. I don't think she was happy with his income at that time, and that's where we're at. The multifamily adjustment, while she's right, he used to have shared custody. He doesn't anymore. He has residential custody, so that applies. And on the parenting time adjustment, I believe that's for summer months, not for the 35%. So I'd have to look at that. I'm not sure where she's at on that, but
You have no questions for her?
let me double check, but I don't think so, Judge. No, I don't have any questions.
Ms. Grabby, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions, Your Honor.
Okay.
Are we gonna have the opportunity to make a, I mean, do you want me to make a statement now or?
Well, Mr. Driscoll, the purpose of the objection is to show that the journal entry does not reflect the court findings. Do you have any evidence regarding the court findings?
I don't have a transcript or anything to show what the court's findings were at that time. It's just, it's supposed to accurately reflect the respondent's income, which we disagree with. And the other, the multifamily eligibility and eligibility of parenting time adjustment either was not addressed or isn't. And I don't have a transcript of those proceedings, so it's hard for me to say one way or the other, Judge. And my memory is not that good to go back to September, so I can tell you that.
Right. Then as far as whether or not the journal entry reflects the court's findings, do you have argument, Mr. Driscoll?
The only argument we have, Your Honor, is the argument that my client has regarding what her feelings were pertaining to Mr. Hyatt's income, and was not accurately portrayed or presented to the court, as well as the other two items that were raised by her testimony.
Mr. Schwartz.
Your Honor, I think I've already addressed on the multifamily. There's a court file. I can give the court the case number on it, but it's the court can take judicial notice of it. It's a Rush County case, but he has residential custody of the children in that case. He didn't previously, but he does now. As far as the parenting time adjustment, the mediated parenting plan that the court addressed said that for summer break for 2023, it set out specific dates, but then goes on to say that after that, the party shall have alternating weekly parenting time. And under the guidelines, if you have 50% or more of the time or a shared arrangement in any 30-day period, you're entitled to 50% reduction for that month. And that's what that adjustment is for. So I think that applies. And then on the income, these are the same arguments we had at the hearing, and the court made its ruling.
Ms. Grabby.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, I believe the issue we're here on today is whether or not the orders reflect what you ordered at the hearing. And when I review my notes, I do believe, as Greg says, that the orders do reflect what you ordered at the hearing for income. When I reviewed this for the MFA and the parenting time, I find the same thing that Greg found. So I feel like the orders that were submitted via the Rule 170 are reflective of what you ordered at the time. And that's our position. I I don't see anything else that's different.
Ms. Ellison, did you have a question?
I'm just wondering, if there's a way that I am able to see this Rush County case that shows that he now has primary custody of these children, because last I was given any information, he was pending aggravated child endangerment with one of those children. And I just really, it's just hard to believe, kind of like the income thing.
Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, Ms. Ellison may disagree with the findings the court made back on September 9th. My notes reflect that the court found his income to be the $37,059. That the parties were to use the multifamily calculator on the child support. He was not getting credit for parenting time adjustment. And the parties were to exchange their 2023 income and 2024 income
We have yet to
when-
receive that.
when they have that completed. Okay. So the journal entry appears to reflect that. There are 3 attached worksheets to that journal entry. That appeared to reflect that. Do you see anything wrong with the proposed child support worksheets, Mr. Driscoll?
Other than the incomes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gravy?
No, Your Honor, I think they reflect what you ordered.
And Mr. Schwartz?
I did see one issue, Judge. The heading, it's under District Court of Ellis County, Kansas. The first 2 correctly reflect the date range. The third one, it didn't get changed from the second one and still shows January 1 through May, but I think the order correctly reflects it starts June 1st of 24 and goes forward. But I can submit an updated one that has the June 1, 2024 to present if need be.
You had filed 3 worksheets with your proposed order. That was back on
February 6th, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry, that was on January 23rd.
are there any difference between those worksheets and the ones that you have submitted in February?
No, I don't know what the difference. I don't think so, Judge. Let me double check though. I can tell you. The final one, I know that from June forward at 246, there's no change. The 2023 is the same. And the 2024 is the same. The January to May 2024, the amounts are the same. I don't know why they were filed separately.
Okay. And looking at the worksheet, it uses the multifamily application. See no adjustment for parenting time. We did not address the income tax consideration, but I don't think that was an issue at the last hearing.
Well, I think she claims a child every year. I think we did address that, Judge. Or she has historically, and there's been an order that he gets the credit for that because she claims a child every year.
Okay. It's just not reflected in my notes. So I'm not questioning that if that was the situation. I don't see that we specifically addressed it, or at least I didn't make any note of it. But if that's the situation, that's the situation. So the worksheets appear to be in compliance with the court's rulings of September 9th, as is the journal entry itself. So the court will file the journal entry and the child support worksheets.
We would request, Greg, if you would send us Mr. Hyatt's 2024 income information. And if you'd also send me that case in Rush County so we could verify that.
You should be able to get it on that portal. All those records, as an attorney, you should be able to get all the domestic records. If you can't, we
thought you
can.
might give us a case number and I'd be much.
Oh, I can. Yeah, I can give you a case.
I think he's looking for the case number.
Yeah, not a problem.
Anything further than today, Mr. Driscoll?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Schwartz?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Grabby? You're muted, Ms. Grabby.
That's a no, sorry.
Okay. So go ahead and submit those to the portal, or to the queue, Mr. Schwartz, so I can sign off.
Okay.
May I
Okay.
ask one more question?
You
What
may.
question do you have, Miss Ellison?
Greg Schwartz mentioned something about 50% of the summertime, but I'm looking at the parenting guidelines on the kansascourts.gov website, and I don't see anything about that. It just says 35% or higher. So I'm just wondering where that calculation or where that statute is, because I would like to read it and verify it.
Well, I don't see where any of the worksheets granted a parenting time adjustment.
He had it on at least one of them.
It's not, Judge. I looked at all three of them. It's not on there.
I'm looking at them.
Maybe they changed.
I don't see it used on any of the three worksheets. The only adjustment I see is for the income tax consideration.
So he's now claiming her on taxes every other year?
No, he's taking the deduction because you're claiming her every year.
Okay.
So he gets a corresponding deduction on his worksheet. Okay.
Does rental income count as income?
Well, ma'am, you'll need to speak to Mr. Driscoll about that. I made a finding regarding income. You may disagree with it, but his journal entry and his worksheets reflect the finding I made. Talk to Mr. Driscoll. You're getting his 2024 income. You may be filing a motion to modify.
I believe we should have
The-
received that within 30
the-
days.
The order and the worksheets reflect what the court ruled back on September 9th, and that's the issue today. Mr. Schwartz, if you'll do a journal entry to that effect.
You just want the final journal entry, or do you need a separate one from today?
I need a separate one just saying the court heard the objections of the petitioner. The court denied the objections, and the journal entry of September 9th was filed as submitted.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you all.
Thank you, Your
Wow, this mama does not want her ex to have any credit for other children he had before she ever came into the picture. I guess she didn't know he had those kids beforehand. I don't know. She didn't think about that when they were hanging out together, I guess. She didn't consider the fact that, he's got these other children to take care of. She wants all the money, all of it. She doesn't want him to get credit for those kids. She doesn't want him to claim her daughter on his taxes because she wants all that tax money. I don't know. That just doesn't seem like the best thing when you want to co-parent. And it doesn't sound like that's actually the best thing for the relationship between the three of them. Her and her child, her and her ex, and him and his child. But that doesn't matter to her. The only thing that matters is the money. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.